स्वाभाविक रूप से यह पिरोया हुआ हम पाते हैं। उदाहरण के तौर पर वैदिक रिचुअल्स में, स्वर्ण सूत्रों में ज्योमेट्री का सिद्धांत ये निहित पाए जाते हैं। जैसे मैं बतलाना चाहूंगा इस सदन को अध्यक्ष महोदय, जैसे हवन कुंड हम बनाते हैं तो अभी हमारे प्राचीन ज्योमेट्रिक कंसेप्ट पर ही आधारित होता है। यह बिल्कुल हमारी जनता के मन में, उनकी सोच में यह पूरी तरह से रचा बसा है और यही कारण है कि बड़े बड़े वैज्ञानिक भी सांस्कृतिक विरासत की महत्ता को अच्छी तरह स्वीकार करते हैं। अध्यक्ष महोदय, अभी चंद्रयान 3 की सफलता के नायक डॉक्टर यश सोमनाथ, जिनका पूरे सदन ने अभिनंदन किया, उनके साथ सारे वैज्ञानिकों का अभिनंदन किया, श्री डॉक्टर यश सोमनाथ जी ने भी इस बात की ओर इशारा किया था कि वेदों में कई सारी वैज्ञानिक पृष्ठभूमि वाली बातें कही गई हैं। भारत के प्रसिद्ध गणितज्ञ श्रीनिवास रामानुजन का तो संस्कृत के प्रति इतना गहरा विश्वास था कि वे अपने गणित के क्षेत्र में किए गए किसी भी कार्य को स्पिरिचुअलिज्म, अध्यात्म का ही वह अंग मानते थे। और अध्यक्ष महोदय, इसीलिए जो लोग यह कहते हैं कि हमें अपनी संस्कृति से विरक्त होकर विज्ञान को अपनाना चाहिए, दरअसल उन लोगों का यह समझना पड़ेगा उन्हें कि संस्कृत और विज्ञान एक दूसरे के विरोधी नहीं है, बल्कि संस्कृत और विज्ञान एक दूसरे के पूरक है। अध्यक्ष महोदय, मैं देश का रक्षा मंत्री हूं, रक्षा मंत्रालय का दायित्व मेरे ऊपर है और देश की सुरक्षा का कार्यभार देख रहा हूं। जब मैं यहां आ रहा था तो मैं रास्ते मैंने सोचा कि चंद्रयान 3 की सफलता को देश के रक्षा मंत्री होने के नाते मैं किस नजरिए से देखता हूं, इस पर भी मैंने अपनी कुछ बातें आपके सामने में रखना चाहूंगा। मैं अपनी बात पर आऊं, इसके लिए मैं आपको थोड़ा पीछे भी ले जाना चाहूंगा अध्यक्ष महोदय, और कुछ एक उदाहरण भी इस सदन के समक्ष आपके माध्यम से रखना चाहूंगा। आप सभी सदन के लोग अच्छी तरह अवगत हैं कि कुछ ही समय पहले हमारे प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी ने के प्रयासों से काशी तमिल संगमम का भव्य और सफल आयोजन किया गया था। उसके कुछ समय बाद ही सौराष्ट्र तमिल संगमम का भी आयोजन उनके द्वारा किया गया था। अध्यक्ष महोदय, इसके पहले का एक और उदाहरण देखिए कि सरकार के प्रयासों से कैसे उज्जैन में बाबा महाकाल के क्षेत्र में भव्य कॉरिडोर का निर्माण किया गया। विश्व की प्राचीनतम नगरी ज्ञान नगरी काशी में बाबा विश्वनाथ धाम के परिसर के पुनरुद्धार का काम भी वहां पर किया गया। प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी ने बाबा विश्वनाथ के चरणों में श्रद्धा के सुमन अर्पित किए अध्यक्ष महोदय। और राम मंदिर का एक और उदाहरण इसके साथ ही अध्यक्ष महोदय में देना चाहूंगा। जो रामचंद्र जी देश के जनमानस में निवास करते हैं, उन राजा जी को अयोध्या में निवास करना कितना मुश्किल कार्य हो गया था। जाने कितनी पीढ़ियां इस प्रतीक्षा में ही निकल गई कि रामलला के मंदिर का निर्माण कभी होगा कि नहीं होगा। सैकड़ों वर्षों से राम मंदिर बनने का सपना पाले बैठे उन भक्तों ने इसे बस एक सपना भर ही मान लिया था, कभी न पूरा होने वाला सपना ऐसा मान लिया था। पर माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में सरकार का प्रयास देखिए अध्यक्ष महोदय कि आज अयोध्या में राम मंदिर के निर्माण का कार्य बड़े जोर शोर के साथ चल रहा है। और अध्यक्ष महोदय, राष्ट्र में सांस्कृतिक उत्कर्ष के एक नए युग का प्रारंभ हुआ है। राष्ट्र के प्रयासों से भगवान राम अपने नए अवतार में जल्द ही जनता के सामने होंगे और यह भारतवासियों की, मैं समझता हूं, एक बहुत बड़ी, बहुत शानदार यह उपलब्धि होगी अध्यक्ष महोदय। अध्यक्ष महोदय, इस प्रकार के कुछ और उदाहरण देखिए। गंगा जैसी अनेक नदियों का पुनरुद्धार किया गया। हम देशव्यापी अभियान चलाकर हम गंगा, यमुना और नर्मदा जैसी नदियों की सफाई और उनके संरक्षण का कार्य कर रहे हैं। ऐसे ही अनेक उपक्रम सरकार द्वारा किए जा रहे हैं जो हमारी संस्कृति और परंपरा से जुड़ी चीजों को सहेजने और सुरक्षित रखने का वह काम कर रहे हैं। अध्यक्ष महोदय, आप सभी राष्ट्र के उपयुक्त विकास के लिए अनेक प्रकार की सुरक्षा से भी, मैं समझता हूं, सदन के सम्मानित सदस्य अच्छी तरह अवगत होंगे। आप सभी सीमा सुरक्षा, आर्थिक सुरक्षा, सामाजिक सुरक्षा, खाद्य सुरक्षा, ऊर्जा सुरक्षा और पर्यावरण सुरक्षा के बारे में मैं समझता हूं हम सभी समय समय पर चर्चा भी करते रहते हैं। अब तो पूरी हिम्मत है, पूरी हिम्मत है, पूरी हिम्मत है, पूरी हिम्मत है। पूरी हिम्मत है। पूरी हिम्मत है। मत इतिहास में मत ले जाओ अधीर रंजन जी, इतिहास में मत ले जाइए।
माननीय सदस्य प्लीज।
चर्चा चीन पर भी अध्यक्ष महोदय, अरे भाई अब सुन लिया आपकी बात, मेरी बात सुन लिया।
माननीय सदस्य आपको मौका देंगे जब आप बोलना सबको पर्याप्त समय पर्याप्त अवसर मिलेगा।
और मैं बतलाना चाहता हूं अध्यक्ष महोदय, मैं बीच में कहीं पर अपने को डिबेट नहीं करना चाहता हूं। मैं चर्चा करने को तैयार हूं और सीना चौड़ा करके मैं चर्चा करने के लिए अध्यक्ष महोदय, आप सभी राष्ट्र के उपयुक्त विकास के लिए अनेक प्रकार की सुरक्षा से हमारे सदन के सम्मानित सदस्य अवगत होंगे। आप सभी सीमा सुरक्षा, आर्थिक सुरक्षा से अवगत होंगे। आप सभी सीमा सुरक्षा, आर्थिक सुरक्षा, सामाजिक सुरक्षा और खाद्य सुरक्षा, ऊर्जा सुरक्षा और पर्यावरण सुरक्षा के बारे में भी अवगत होंगे। अब तो स्पेस और साइबर सुरक्षा, स्पेस और साइबर सिक्योरिटी जैसे नए नए डायमेंशन इसमें जुड़ गए हैं अध्यक्ष महोदय। पर इनके साथ ही अध्यक्ष महोदय, सिक्योरिटी का एक और भी आयाम है जिसमें सुरक्षा उतनी ही आवश्यक है जितनी बाकी सब में है, और वह डायमेंशन है हमारी संस्कृति का, हमारी कल्चर का। और इसे मुझे कोई नाम देना हो तो उसे मैं सांस्कृतिक सुरक्षा और कल्चरल सिक्योरिटी का नाम यहां देना चाहूंगा। और अध्यक्ष महोदय, जब मैं यहां कल्चर अथवा संस्कृति के बारे में कुछ कह रहा हूं तो उससे मेरा मतलब हमारी जीवन पद्धति से, हमारे लाइफ सिस्टम से। संस्कृति से मेरा मतलब हमारे खान पान, वेशभूषा, रीति रिवाज, रहन सहन और हमारे विचारों से है। अध्यक्ष महोदय, मैं किसी राष्ट्र की अस्मिता को अक्षुण्ण रखने के लिए जिस तरह से वहां की सीमाई सुरक्षा और बाकी अन्य चीजों की सुरक्षा आवश्यक होती है, उसी प्रकार उसकी अस्मिता को बनाए रखने के लिए वहां की संस्कृति की सुरक्षा भी उतनी ही आवश्यक होती है। और अध्यक्ष महोदय, और इन उदाहरणों से मैंने यह स्पष्ट करने का प्रयास किया है कि हमारी सरकार भारतीय सांस्कृतिक विरासत को तवज्जो देते हुए सांस्कृतिक सुरक्षा के प्रति भी उतनी ही गंभीर है जितनी अन्य बाकी सुरक्षा के प्रति हमारी सरकार गंभीर है। अध्यक्ष महोदय, आज जब यहां पर चंद्रयान की चर्चा हो रही है, तो मैं सांस्कृतिक पुनर्जागरण के इन उदाहरणों को आपके सामने क्यों रख रहा हूं। अध्यक्ष महोदय, वैसे तो ये दोनों निश्चित रूप से अलग अलग विषय हैं, इसमें कहीं दो मत नहीं है, पर ध्यान से देखेंगे तो यह सदन के सभी सम्मानित सदस्य यह पाएंगे कि इनके भीतर एक गहरा संबंध है, इन दोनों के बीच एक गहरा रिश्ता है। अध्यक्ष महोदय, विश्व का इतिहास उठाकर कोई देखे तो आप पाएंगे कोई भी ऐसा राष्ट्र नहीं है, कोई भी ऐसा समाज नहीं है जिसने सांस्कृतिक पुनर्जागरण के बिना आर्थिक, सामाजिक, राजनीतिक और वैज्ञानिक प्रगति की हो। दुनिया में कोई देश नहीं मिलेगा। जब तक संस्कृति समाज को जीवंत नहीं करती, उन्नत नहीं करती, उसे एक दिशा नहीं देती, तब तक समाज जड़ बना रहता है। और अध्यक्ष महोदय, अगर हम और आप अपनी गरिमा, अपनी आगामी पीढ़ी को यही बताएंगे कि अब तक हमारा जितना वैज्ञानिक विकास हुआ है वह केवल बाहर देशों के ज्ञान की नकल पर ही हुआ है, तो क्या हम अपने बच्चों को इस क्षेत्र में किसी भी सूरत में आगे बढ़ा पाएंगे? धीरे हमारे अंग्रेजों ने अगर हमें अब तक यही पढ़ाया हो कि हमारा सारा का सारा ज्ञान दूसरे देशों की कॉपी भर है, उनकी नकल भर है, तो क्या श्री डॉक्टर सोमनाथ एवं इसरो के अन्य वैज्ञानिक भारतीय ज्ञान के बल पर अध्यक्ष महोदय कभी चांद तक पहुंचने का सपना शायद वह कभी न देख पाते। अगर उन्हें इस बात का विश्वास हुआ, अगर उनके मन में संकल्प जगा, तो इसलिए कि उन्हें मालूम था कि उनके पूर्वज आर्यभट्ट थे, उनके पूर्वज वराहमिहिर थे, उन्हें मालूम था कि उनके पूर्वज भास्कराचार्य थे, उनके पूर्वज ब्रह्मगुप्त थे और उनके पूर्वज सवाई जय सिंह थे अध्यक्ष महोदय। इसलिए उनको यह प्रेरणा प्राप्त हुई। अध्यक्ष महोदय, हम सोचे कि एक बच्चा है जिसे समाज की प्रगति में केवल विदेशी नाम पढ़ाए जा रहे हैं, दूसरा बच्चा है जिसे ऐसे नाम पढ़ाए जा रहे हैं जो उसके अपने समाज से रहे। ऐसे में किस बच्चे से आप अधिक कॉन्फिडेंस और मनोबल की उम्मीद करेंगे? यह स्वाभाविक है अध्यक्ष महोदय कि वैसे तो मुझे बाहरी नामों से कोई इतराज नहीं है अध्यक्ष महोदय, ज्ञान विज्ञान में उनका भी महत्वपूर्ण योगदान है, यह भी मैं स्पष्ट करना चाहूंगा। पर हमारे बच्चों के मन मस्तिष्क में केवल और केवल बाहरी नाम यदि छाए रहे तो ऐसी स्थिति में बच्चा अपने बल पर समाज के विकास के सपने को जीवन में कभी नहीं देख सकता है। उसमें सपने भी आएंगे तो बाहर के समाज के विकास के ही सपने आएंगे। इसलिए अध्यक्ष महोदय, जब हम महिलाओं और छोटी बच्चियों को इंस्पायर करने की बात करते हैं तो हमें यह प्रयास करते हैं कि उनके सामने विमेन आइकन का उदाहरण रखें। तो जब हम भारतीय बच्चों को इंस्पायर करने के लिए, प्रेरित करने का हम प्रयास करते हैं, तो क्या हमारा यह कर्तव्य नहीं होना चाहिए कि हम उनके सामने भारतीय आइकन्स का भी उदाहरण प्रस्तुत करें? इसलिए अगर हमें अपने समाज, अपने राष्ट्र को आगे ले जाना है अध्यक्ष महोदय, हम अपने समाज और संस्कृति से सीखें, हमारे अपने आइकन्स को अपने बात व्यवहार में प्रतिष्ठित करें और उनका अनुकरण करें। यही हम सभी के लिए श्रेयस्कर होगा। अध्यक्ष महोदय, एक बात और मैं यहां कहना चाहूंगा और वह यह है कि चंद्रयान 3 की सफलता में देश की नारी की शक्ति की योगदान की मैं यहां चर्चा करूंगा। पूरा सदन अच्छी तरह जानता है कि इस मिशन में महिला साइंटिस्ट का भी बहुत बड़ा महत्वपूर्ण योगदान है। यह मिशन अगर इतना सफल हो पाया है तो इसके पीछे हमारे देश की नारी शक्ति का समर्पण, उनका त्याग और राष्ट्र को नई पहचान देने की उनकी तमन्ना रही है अध्यक्ष महोदय। और संसद का यह विशेष सत्र नारी शक्ति वंदन विधेयक को समर्पित सत्र है, इसलिए इसकी मैं चर्चा कर रहा हूं। और ऐसे में मैं नारी शक्ति वंदन विधेयक को इसरो की महिला साइंटिस्ट और उनके साथ भारत की पूरी फीमेल साइंटिफिक कम्युनिटी को कृतज्ञ राष्ट्र की ओर से प्रस्तुत यह मैं उपहार के रूप में इसे मैं देखता हूं, नारी शक्ति वंदन को अध्यक्ष महोदय। और यह सदन और राष्ट्र इसरो की महिला साइंटिस्ट और हर भारतीय बेटी को यह नमन करता है, उनकी सराहना करता है और उनके प्रति कृतज्ञता प्रकट करता है अध्यक्ष महोदय। अध्यक्ष महोदय, अपनी बातों को सार रूप में मैं यहां रखना चाहूं तो यह है कि चंद्रयान 3 की सफलता कोई एक्सेप्शन नहीं है या कोई अपवाद नहीं है। यह
फेसबुक पर लाइव स्ट्रीम तो सभी कर
चली आ रही हमारी सामाजिक, हमारी सांस्कृतिक और वैज्ञानिक धारा का।
हाय गाइस, तो यूट्यूब और फेसबुक पर लाइव स्ट्रीम तो सभी करते होंगे, बट
इस सफलता के
यहाँ पे मैं जाऊंगा google.com में
ही छिपे हैं। ऐसा अतीत जहाँ वैज्ञानिकता एक स्वभाव के रूप में विद्यमान थी हमारे यहाँ।
तो जो 9:16 के एक्सपेक्ट रेशो में है, तो चलिए मैं फिलहाल यहाँ से क्लोज करता हूँ और यहाँ पे मैं OBS को ओपन कर लेता हूँ।
कुछ समय के लिए
OBS ओपन करने के बाद गाइस यहाँ पे आप देखोगे तो पहले से मेरे कोई स्ट्रीम का सेटअप किया हुआ है, तो यहाँ पे मैं एक न्यू बना लेता हूँ और इसका नाम देता हूँ इंस्टाग्राम। ओके, सॉरी स्पेलिंग गलत है तो उसका इश्यू मत लेना। और यहाँ पे पहले मैं ऐड करता हूँ मीडिया को, तो मीडिया सोर्स पे जाएंगे और ओके करेंगे और यहाँ पे ब्राउज करेंगे। तो जो मेरी फाइल है वो डेस्कटॉप पे पड़ी है, तो नीचे स्क्रॉल करता हूँ, ये वाली है यूएस फॉरवर्ड, इसे मैं क्लिक करता हूँ तो ये तो काफी बड़ी आ रही है अभी, तो इसको फिलहाल मैं छोटा कर लेता हूँ थोड़ा सा और इसे मैं बीच में ले आता हूँ, ठीक है। और उसके बाद मुझे इसका जो ये बाकी चीजें है वो वर्क करनी पड़ेगी, तो उसके लिए मैं सेटिंग्स में जाऊंगा और वीडियो में उसका मैं फ्रेम चेंज कर दूंगा। तो इसका मैं रखूंगा 1080 920 और इसकी जो आउटपुट रखूंगा मैं, अगर फुल एचडी में आप करना चाहते हो तो ये वाला कर सकते हो, 1080 अगर नहीं तो 720
प्रार्थना
में कर
करने वाले
सकते हो।
भारतीयों
तो
को
मैं ये वाला करता हूँ,
सिर्फ
अप्लाई
चंद्रयान तक
ओके।
ही
अब देखो
नहीं
यहाँ पे आ
रुकना
गया,
है
अब
अध्यक्ष
बस आपने
महोदय,
इसे
बल्कि
स्केल
आगे
करना है
जाना
इसके
है।
मुताबिक।
अभी अंतरिक्ष में
इसे आप ऐसे
अनेक
सेट
लक्ष्य
कर दो, ये
हमारा
देखो सेट हो गया
इंतजार
बहुत
कर
ही
रहे
अच्छे
हैं।
तरीके से।
अभी हम भारतीयों को कई मानदंड यहाँ स्थापित करने हैं। अध्यक्ष महोदय, मैं अपने वैज्ञानिकों की कामयाबी की एक दो और चर्चा करके अपनी बात यहां समाप्त करना चाहूंगा। अध्यक्ष महोदय, भारत द्वारा हमारे वैज्ञानिकों का करिश्मा देखिए। भारत द्वारा अब तक लॉन्च किए गए 424 विदेशी उपग्रह, इनमें से 389 424 में से 389 आउट ऑफ 424 जितने भी हमारे विदेशी उपग्रह हैं, उसमें 389 प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी के नेतृत्व वाली सरकार के पिछले 9 वर्षों में लॉन्च किए गए हैं अध्यक्ष। और विदेशी उपग्रहों के सफल प्रक्षेपण के साथ भारत का अंतरिक्ष क्षेत्र दुनिया में बहुत तेजी से एक प्रमुख स्थान हासिल कर रहा है। भारत द्वारा अब तक लॉन्च किए गए 424 विदेशी उपग्रहों में से 389 प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी की नेतृत्व वाली सरकार के पिछले 9 वर्ष में लॉन्च किए गए थे। इसके अलावा अध्यक्ष महोदय 174 मिलियन अमेरिकी डॉलर में से 157 मिलियन की कमाई पिछले 9 वर्षों में हुई, और इसी तरह अब तक की अर्जित 256 मिलियन यूरो में से 223 मिलियन मोदी शासन के 9 वर्षों के दौरान आए हैं। अध्यक्ष महोदय, यह भी मैं सदन की जानकारी में यहां लाना चाहता हूं। एक बार अध्यक्ष महोदय, मैं फिर अपने वैज्ञानिक समुदाय को बधाई देता हूं और आशा करता हूं कि जल्द ही हम नए मिशनों को भी अंजाम देंगे, आगे नए मिशनों को भी हम अंजाम देंगे, ऐसा मेरा पक्का विश्वास है, समस्त देशवासियों का विश्वास है। अध्यक्ष जी, अभी तो यह शुरुआत ही है। आने वाले समय में हमारा हाथ मंगल और शनि तक भी पहुंचेंगे और हमारा देश वहां भी अपना परचम लहराएगा। अध्यक्ष महोदय, जहां अब तक कोई नहीं पहुंच पाया है। इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ मैं अपनी वाणी को विराम देता हूं और सदन की ओर से राष्ट्र के वैज्ञानिकों को नमन करता हूं। अध्यक्ष महोदय,
श्री शशि थरूर जी।
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. I'm honoured, really, to stand before this House and to speak on behalf of my party on a matter of great pride for Indians everywhere in the world, the success of our lunar mission, Chandrayaan-3, and according to the topic you've given us in the revised list of business, success of Chandrayaan-3 mission and other achievements of our nation in the space sector. I think my respected friend, Sri Rajnath Singh, treated us to a lecture on a slightly different subject. But on August 23rd, Mr. Speaker, we scripted history as our unmanned moon mission's lander module made a flawless soft landing, making us only the 4th country to achieve this feat and the first to reach the uncharted south pole of Earth's only natural satellite, the moon. It is fitting, sir, that as you proposed, we observe August 23rd as National Space Day in future. How far we have come since the late 1950s, when a classic photograph by Henri Cartier-Bresson showed Indian rocket parts being transported on a bullock cart. Let me take you back, sir, nonetheless, to when our nation's scientists, led by Dr. Vikram Sarabhai, began to develop the contours of India's nation space program in the early 1960s. Back then, the coastal village of Thumba, in the outskirts of Thiruvananthapuram, was identified as an ideal location, given its latitude and natural
अब
geological
वापस हम लोग
features,
चलते हैं, देखते हैं
to
हमारी
allow
एप्लीकेशन
for
डाउनलोड हो
rocket
गई है।
launches
तो इसे मैं
and
रन
allied
करता हूँ
research.
और इसे ओपन होने देते हैं। तो इंस्टॉल होगा और उसके बाद यहाँ पे ओपन हो जाएगा। तो ये आ गया अपना, यहाँ पे आपकी जो आईडी और पासवर्ड आपने फिल करना है। यहाँ पे आप अपनी इंस्टाग्राम की आईडी और पासवर्ड को फिल कीजिए, बहुत ही सेफ है, कोई भी इशू नहीं आएगा। सबसे अच्छी बात गाइस इसमें यही है कि वन टाइम है, यानी कि वन टाइम स्ट्रीमिंग आपकी जो होने के बाद आपकी स्ट्रीमिंग की डिसेबल हो जाएगी, आप उसे दोबारा यूज नहीं कर पाओगे। दोबारा यूज
Saint Mary Magdalene Church and the residence of the bishop himself, Peter Bernard Pereira, his own official residence. Now, in any other community or any other part of the world, even, the matter might have been put to rest right there. After all, the idea, the thought of displacing an active spiritual establishment would certainly have evoked outrage and fury, especially in today's India. But in this relatively obscure part of India near Thiruvananthapuram, where a decision of national importance and scientific progress presented itself, the community chose to make a remarkably patriotic choice, a choice for development and progress. When initial conversations with politicians and bureaucrats made little headway, something special happened. One day, when Bishop Pereira was sitting in his little office in the church, he heard a knock on the door. He said, "Who is this?" And a man in a white suit came and said, "I am Dr. Vikram Sarabhai." Dr. Sarabhai explained the importance of this area to India's scientific research in space. The bishop understood the proposed mission of the scientists, and he told Dr. Sarabhai, "Come to my church on the following Sunday." So during the Sunday service, Dr. Sarabhai was there, and Bishop Pereira presented a proposition before the congregation. "My children," he said, "I have a famous scientist with me who wants our church and the place I live in for the work of space science research. Dear children," he said, "science seeks truth by reasoning. In one way, science and spiritualism seek the same divine blessings for doing good for the people. My children, can we give God's abode for a scientific mission?" The answer from the congregation was quite literally a resounding Amen. The church and the bishop's house, as well as other neighbouring inhabited areas, were handed over without protest to Dr. Sarabhai and his team. Thus was established in 1962 the Thumba Equatorial Rocket Launching Station, or TERLS, which would later be renamed Vikram Sarabhai Space Centre after the death of the legendary Dr. Sarabhai 9 years later. A year after TRLS was established, India launched its first two-stage rocket, our first foray into space, from Thiruvananthapuram. As our late President, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, who was part of the original launch team in 1963, and he went on to work from the church building himself, he wrote later, looking back at this remarkable episode, "Today among us, Professor Vikram Sarabhai is not there, Reverend Dr. Bernard Peter Pereira is not there, but those who are responsible for the creation and make the flower and blossom will themselves be a different kind of flower, as described in the Bhagavad Gita," he said, and he quotes the Gita, "See the flower, how generously it distributes perfume and honey. It gives to all, gives freely of its love. When its work is done, it falls away quietly. Try to be like the flower, unassuming despite all its qualities." That is what a lot of ISRO's foundations have been, sir. Unassuming, but with the power to change the world. One of the world's oldest and most ambitious, it arose from the physical research laboratory established in Ahmedabad in 1947.
आपको दोबारा लॉगिन आईडी पासवर्ड भरना पड़ेगा और न्यू स्ट्रीमिंग की को जनरेट करना पड़ेगा। तो चलिए यहाँ पे जाते हैं हम लोग लॉगिन आईडी और पासवर्ड फिल करते हैं।
First Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru then created the Indian National Committee for Space Research, or INCOSPA, marking our country's official entry.
तो यहाँ पे मैं इसे पेस्ट करता हूँ और उसके बाद मैं पासवर्ड फिल करता हूँ।
This committee was set up on the recommendation of the Scientific Advisory
ठीक है, पासवर्ड मैंने फिल किया और लॉगिन होने के बाद आपको यहाँ पे आपकी स्ट्रीमिंग की मिल जाएगी। थोड़ा सा वेट करते हैं। देखो यहाँ पे आ गई है। ओके, मैं इसे कॉपी कर लेता हूँ और मुझे जाके सेटिंग्स के अंदर और यहाँ पे स्ट्रीमिंग के अंदर कस्टम्स में जाएंगे और यहाँ पे इसे पेस्ट कर देंगे। देखिए हमने पेस्ट कर दिया और उसके बाद जाएंगे हम लोग की में और इसे मैं यहाँ पे पेस्ट कर दूंगा। बस हमने इतना करना, ओके कर दीजिए। ठीक है, और एक मिनट में इसे पॉज कर देता हूँ। तो जो अपना सेटअप था वो पूरा कंप्लीट हो चुका है। आपकी वीडियो भी यहाँ पे लग गई है, तो एक मिनट में लूप में ले आता हूँ। ठीक है, तो गाइस यहाँ पे देखो आपकी वीडियो भी लग गई, स्ट्रीमिंग की भी लग गई, मतलब जितना काम था वो कंप्लीट।
Head of the Indian Institute of Science in Bangalore was invited by then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi to lead the organization because she knew that the vision and legacy of Vikram Sarabhai could only be fulfilled by someone like Dhawan. He accepted the invitation, though on condition that the headquarters be shifted to Bangalore, and guided ISRO as a leader who is still admired by many. In July of 1979, sir, our first satellite launch vehicle failed, and Mr. Dhawan, an exemplary leader, took responsibility for it. He gave a statement saying, "Dear friends, we have failed today. I want to support my technologists, my scientists, my staff, so that next year they succeed." The very next year, they did succeed. This is ISRO's history. Every setback became a stepping stone to greater success. And so we Indians are proud of our space program for good reason. Since then, ISRO has undertaken missions to the moon, Chandrayaan 1, 2 and 3, and the failure of 2 became a stepping stone to the success of 3, to Mars, the Mangalyaan Mars Orbiter mission. And we have created our own launch vehicles and satellites. Moreover, of course, as the Speaker has said, India launched the Solar Observatory Aditya L1 this month and aims to put 2 or 3 people into low Earth orbits by the end of this year. 2 or 3 people into low Earth orbits by the end of this year. Rakesh Sharma, to emulate the legendary Rakesh Sharma, who orbited the planet on a Soviet spacecraft in 1984. Notably, Indian space research is the only program which has been a civilian program from the very beginning. We are focused on the development space for rural development.
तो यहाँ पे सबसे पहले मैं ओपन कर लेता हूँ google.com और यहाँ पे मैंने डाउनलोड करना है सॉफ्टवेयर जिस
high-end research. And this, sir, is just the beginning. India's space program is set literally to skyrocket. Experts predict that India could account for at least 10% of the global space economy in the next decade, up sharply from 2% currently. India's space program bolsters our development, having made important contributions even in seemingly unrelated areas such as disaster management, education, healthcare, agriculture, fisheries and urban planning. Moreover, it serves India's global diplomacy as well, sir, enhancing our credibility and influence. Those who once scoffed at the idea that a poor developing country aspired to send rockets into space must concede that India is now a technological force to be reckoned with in the world. To my mind, there is yet another sterling triumph within India's Chandrayaan moment. It has become a good occasion to recognize the alumni of unsung engineering colleges everywhere in India. Indians are rightly and justifiably obsessed with the IITs, but Chandrayaan 3's landing, especially 4 years after the failure of Chandrayaan 2, was attributable to many, many scientists from far less glamorous educational backgrounds. While the ISRO chairman, S. Somnath, is a product of TKM College of Engineering in Kollam, represented by my friend Premachandran, at least 8 of his other colleagues graduated from the College of Engineering, CET, Thiruvananthapuram. Somnath Institution was founded in 1956 by a successful Muslim cashew merchant, Tangal Kunju Musliar, abbreviated soon enough to TKM, and has gone on to establish a stellar local reputation, while CET in my constituency, established in 1939 as the first engineering college in then Travancore state, retains its record and repute as the premier engineering college in the state of Kerala. Yes, at least 7 more engineers from CET were involved in the Chandrayaan 3 success, and there were others, alumni from small engineering colleges in Tamil Nadu, in small towns throughout India. We've had graduates of these small colleges contributing to ISRO because, let's face it, we must, yes indeed, it was in the very first launch, Dr. Abdul Kalam. We must proudly salute these alumni of unsung engineering colleges because they serve the public sector with dedication and are the backbone of national enterprises like ISRO. As I wrote on social media at that time, if IITians went to Silicon Valley, CETians took us to the moon. I would also like to point out that many of the stalwarts in our space program have been women scientists and engineers. Some 20% of ISRO's key personnel are women. And as women increasingly excel in science and technology studies, this number may only go up. And unlike in our parliament or legislative assemblies, they won't even need reservations either, sir. I can tell you from my experience of addressing many convocations, I'm in favor. But I have been giving away prizes at many convocations of science and technology and engineering colleges. And even when the women students are a small minority, maybe 20–30% of the student body, they are 90% of the medal winners, prize winners, and honours winners. This is becoming increasingly a woman's field, and we'll all be the better for it, sir. Now, the only thing that disappoints me today is that some in the government seek to make this their moment to bask in glory, seek to make polarize the country by speaking as if and polarize the country by only began in 2014. All space endeavours only began in 2014. First in the ancient years of the Vedas, and then in the ancient years of the Vedas, and then we're hearing today. That's what we're hearing. The truth is, sir, that our space successes are our space successes are a governance. And what has been achieved today stands on the shoulders of many past achievements, stands on the shoulders of many past achievements, as I have described to you. Any mature democracy would recognize. Any mature democracy of our scientists, the developing brilliance of our scientists, R&D, developing global synergies on technology, R&D cannot be achieved unilaterally by any one government. Cannot be achieved. This is the achievement by any one government. Years of making the right successive years. Of making the right. We've heard so much about Aditya L1 mission. For example, we've heard so much about Aditya L1 mission. It began in 17 years to be conceived. It took 17 years executed to be conceived, and finally launched. Executed, thus the Chandrayaan triumph is truly pan-Indian. Chandrayaan triumph across pan-Indian political divide. Across, it does not belong to any one person. It does not belong to any one person. We all came together yesterday to affirm the solidarity. We all came together yesterday to affirm the solidarity. Let us also come together, sir, to recognize the collective contributions of all governments. To recognize the collective contributions of all governments in bringing glory to India's space endeavour. Who can deny India owes its remarkable progress? Who can deny India owes its remarkable progress? In large part, in space exploration, dedication, in large part, to developing a scientific temper amongst Indian people, to developing a scientific understanding of technology's role in national development, of technology's role in national development, the country's scientific. Though India was indeed beset by poverty, illiteracy, food insecurity and disease, though India was indeed beset by poverty, illiteracy, food insecurity and we did not have much money, and we relied on ourselves and could aim for the stars. Nehru's doctrine of self-reliance. We did not have much money, use the word Atmanirbharta, the concept was there. We relied within very tight budgetary constraints. Nehru's doctrine of self-reliance influence on India's space program. Use the word Atmanirbharta, the concept was there. Even in this Chandrayaan 3, within very tight budgetary slower, fuel-saving enduring influence to the moon. India's space program, both Mangalyaan and Chandrayaan 3 were the least expensive, even in this Chandrayaan 3, of their kind, to take a slower, fuel-saving approach of equivalent to the moon. NASA, both Mangalyaan and Chandrayaan 3 were the least expensive ventures of their kind, less even costing about the Hollywood depictions of space. Mangalyaan costs less than the Hollywood film Gravity, and Chandrayaan costs less than Interstellar. They cost less even the shoestring budget depictions of space. Mangalyaan costs less than the Hollywood film Gravity, and Chandrayaan costs less than Interstellar. Our government spent on it. The shoestring budget is not just a small fraction of what the US spent. But not even a third of China's budget for its own moon mission. ISRO's last 40 years. But this is not just a small fraction of what the US spent, but not even equivalent of China's budget NASA's for its own moon mission of expenditure. ISRO's last 40 years. History we have to understand. Spending, but they should not be punished for it. Equivalent of my good friend NASA's 6 months. The Department of Space's budget has shockingly been slashed the history we have to understand. By 8%, but they should not be punished for it. I'm looking at my good friend the Department of Space's budget from the 13,700 crore that we were all presented in the budget down to 12,552. The cuts are highest in space technology, including the Human Space Flight Center, as well as developmental and operational projects involving satellite launch. Are highest in space technology, and space science, including the Human Space Flight Center, as well as developmental and operational projects involving satellite launch vehicles, has been allocated $25.4 billion. Space mission in 2023 has been cut by 32%. ISRO has the equivalent of $1.5 billion. Has been allocated $25.4 billion to be more generous in 2023. Now, and ISRO has I want to stress that ISRO's strength $1.5 billion beyond frugality. That is the situation. Chandrayaan 3, our government needs to be more generous. Demonstrated familiarity with the major types of interplanetary spacecraft. Orbiters, land frugality, rovers. The Chandrayaan 3 rover also demonstrated familiarity but it speaks to an important focus area for the Indian space program, land planning and implementation of the Chandrayaan-3 rover is rudimentary. The data from Chandrayaan-3's scientific instruments will be area for the Indian space program, because the mission will be the first physically, chemically and thermally missions. The data from Chandrayaan-3's scientific instruments will near the moon's south pole, because the mission will be the first. No other country has done this. Chemically and thermally, India has some measure of characterize the soil, subsoil, compared to most near the moon's south pole on location. No other country has done this. Press the advantage. India has some measure of more places in the solar system now, compared to most other spacefaring countries. And of course, we must and it should press the advantage by going to more places in the solar system. Scientific instruments currently operated by India are largely concerned with Earth observation and remote sensing. With the focus on indigenous development space-based scientific instruments currently operated by India, a premier manufacturer with Earth launch vehicles and remote sensing, and a sought-after provider indigenous development of technologies launch services to other countries. We have become a premier manufacturer of both launch vehicles and satellites, and a sought-after provider of the world record of low-cost that has been mentioned launch services to other countries. The launch of 104 satellites in one go has already been applauded by the record and the world record. So we have all of this to talk about. Chandrayaan-3 the launch of 104 satellites in one go has already been applauded by the honourable speaker. As we all know, all of this presiding over the G20, Chandrayaan-3 success strengthens the confidence spent with much more on it than we did on the country has spent on the Chandrayaan mission, as we all know, but it is presiding over the G20 for the global south. This has been pointed out by my colleagues. We spent much more on it than we did also playing on ISRO, leading roles in other international bodies. But it is an influential voice for the global south. And how adds to our global role generally more broadly we're also playing remains to be seen. Roles in other unfortunate controversies how these relationships with Canada and how our global role nonetheless generally more broadly will evolve remains to be seen. Strengthen our having unfortunate controversies not least because of we respect they inspire but in other countries. Nonetheless, the countries' achievements in space among the foreign countries that have strengthened our diplomatic program to launch their own satellites and benefit from space cooperation in other countries. Include France, a space partner since 1964, among the foreign countries that have used India's space program of launch their own satellites and benefit from space cooperation, has also launched several satellites space using our PSLV and GSLV, which has supported India's development. Another long-term collaborator on various aspects of space exploration, has also launched including some of these same things using our PSLV and GSLV. Russia have supplied key components. Another long-term collaborator module of Gaganyaan, various aspects of space exploration, and the US, including India has a strategic partnership in space, covering areas such as supplied key components, satellite navigation, crew module of Gaganyaan, space science, and the US, with which India has a strategic partnership in space, covering areas such as Earth observation, satellite navigation, space science, planetary exploration, relations, launch services, space agencies and space-related bodies, France, Russia, with the aim also of strengthening existing ties with these countries. India has pursued taking up new scientific and technological challenges, space agencies, refining our space policies, and defining also strengthening existing ties with these countries, and taking up new scientific and technological challenges. Refining our space policies and defining international frameworks, Canada, Germany, Indonesia, Japan, Luxembourg, the Netherlands, South Korea, the UK, have all launched strength and their satellites using our Israel, Singapore, Canada, Germany, Indonesia, Japan, Luxembourg, the government of South Korea, the UK, have all launched earned $174 million from these launches alone. As a result, the government has earned $174 million from these launches alone. Between last year and this all the more a pity. Even though on the whole our expenditure on space has gone up, the budget for space education and research, educating the next generation of Indian space, even though on the whole our expenditure on space has gone up, and I know Jitendra will tell us that. I'll conclude by recalling the proud moments when India's lander touched down on the moon funding. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi wisely conclude by recalling the proud moment when India's lander touched down on the moon. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi wisely resisted parochial triumph. But he also correctly noted that the achievement mirrors the aspirations as a victory for all of 1.4 billion Indians. But he also correctly noted by showcasing its technological prowess, the aspirations space program reminds the world not only of our innovative capabilities, by showcasing its of our capacity, India's space program reminds the world not only of our innovative capabilities, cyberspace, but also of our capacity to help shape solutions looking up at the sky after Chandrayaan in other areas. Indians can space regulation a glorious global future. Looking up at the sky after Chandrayaan 3, Indians can concentrate rather than just a follower of rules, we are showing the world that we can be, that India can New horizons beckon, setter. The world is now rather than just a follower of rules, even say by the whole universe. Jai Hind. New horizons beckon, the world is now our canvas. Or should I even say, whole universe. Jai Hind. Thank you very much.
कुछ आपको कहना है? Okay.
It's
We
not
are
my
at home
speech.
now. We are
Have
at
some
home
patience.
now.
It's
Please.
not my speech.
Okay.
Sir.
She's member of.
It's
We
not.
are
I
at
just
home
want
now.
to
We are
intervene
at
for a
home
minute.
now.
It's
Please.
not my speech.
Okay.
It's just an intervention. Have patience, sir.
She's
Have
member
patience.
also.
No, I'm
No,
just
no,
want
please,
to
please,
intervene
please.
for a minute.
I want to make an observation,
It's
sir.
just an intervention.
Dr.
Have
Shashi
patience.
Tharoorji.
Have patience. Just
You're
something
a
very
very
No,
learned
please,
and
please.
Sir,
I want to make an
enriching
observation,
to
sir.
his
Dr.
ideas
Shashi
every time he
Tharoorji,
participates in
you're
the
a very
debate.
learned and
He
senior
said a lot of
member.
good
It's very
things, sir.
enriching to listen
But
to
I
his
didn't want to
ideas
disrupt him
every
in the
time he
middle of his
participates
speech, but
in the debate.
I hope I heard
So
you
you said a lot of
correctly.
good things,
You said
sir.
something in
But
between.
I
which
didn't want to
don't
disrupt
much
him
agree
in the
to.
middle of his
So
speech,
you
but
mentioned,
I
hope
heard
I
you
heard you
correctly, I
correctly.
repeat,
You said
that
something
there are lots
in
of
between
women, there are
which I
lots of
don't much
girls who
agree
are
to.
entering the
So
field
you
of science
mentioned,
and
if I heard you
technology,
correctly, I
hopefully,
repeat,
we would see
that
many
there
of
are lots
them,
of women, there are lots
working
of
under
girls
space
who are
programs.
entering the field of
So,
science and
unlike
technology, and
our
hopefully
parliament,
we would
they
see
wouldn't
many of
need
them
reservation
working
to be
under
a part
our
of the
space
space
program.
program.
So I don't much
unlike
agree to this,
our
sir. It's not
parliament,
very appropriate.
they wouldn't need
Please take it in a healthy light, sir.
Okay,
Just
okay.
yesterday, no.
Ji,
listen
ji,
to
ji.
me,
I
sir.
don't
Let me
much
complete.
agree to
Just
this, sir.
yesterday,
It's not very
passed a
Ji,
very
ji,
historic.
okay.
Please take it in a healthy light, sir.
Okay,
Just
okay.
yesterday,
Ji,
no.
ji,
Listen
ji.
to me, sir. Let me complete.
Ji.
Just yesterday, sound very passed a
Ji,
very
ji.
historic bill. No, why
एक
don't
second.
don't just
Shri A. Raja.
Parliament.
जी।
So it doesn't sound very appropriate. No,
एक
I
second.
don't never.
बैठो, आप तो बैठिए। इस ढंग से डिबेट तो नहीं चल सकती। No, please sit down. जी,
I
please.
should never.
जब speak quick. इस ढंग से डिबेट तो नहीं चल सकती। No, please sit down. हाँ। जब speak quick. आप बैठ तो जाइए। नहीं, आप बैठ जाइए।
Sir, your
आप बैठ
party
जाइए।
has supported this
आप बैठ
very
जाइए।
historic bill,
श्री
sir.
ए राजा। नहीं, आप बैठ जाइए।
Sir,
ओके,
your
आप बैठ
party
जाइए।
having reservations
आप बैठ
very
जाइए।
historic for
श्री
this
ए राजा,
bill.
इधर प्लीज।
We can agree to the
ओके,
idea of
जी,
providing
आप बैठिए
reservations
प्लीज।
to
ओनली ए
women
राजा।
for them
बैठ
to
जाइए।
vote.
ओनली आप भी बैठ जाइए। बाद में बात करिए। प्लीज आप बैठिए प्लीज। ओनली ए राजा। ओनली एक सेकंड। नो, आप भी बैठ जाइए। बाद में बात कर लीजिए। प्लीज मिस्टर ए राजा। नो। भाई एक सेकंड। मिस्टर थरूर बैठ जाइए। प्लीज बैठ जाइए। अधीर जी, आप बैठिए। आप बैठ जाइए। आप बैठिए तो सही। आप बैठिए तो सही है मैम। आप भी बैठ जाइए मैम। नथिंग इज गोइंग ऑन नाउ। ना प्लीज आप बैठिए तो सही। आप भी बैठ जाइए मैम। नथिंग इज गोइंग ऑन। एक सेकंड क्या कहना चाहते हैं प्लीज। एक सेकंड क्या कहना चाहते हैं आप बैठिए ना।
I would like to clarify, since the minister, the honourable minister, is
अरे
also a
आप
good friend,
बैठिए ना।
appears to have
Sir,
misunderstood the I thrust would of my like to remarks. clarify. I would like to clarify that the no honourable minister is also a good friend. To either
appears to have
women in general
misunderstood
or
the
the very
thrust of
many
my
honourable
remarks.
women in this
I would
house
like to clarify
who have been
that I meant
elected
no
without any benefit of
disrespect
reservation for all these
to
years.
either women in general
We have
or
said,
the
sir,
very
that
many
we need
honourable women
reservation
in this house
because
who have
the
been
numbers
elected
are not
without any
enough.
benefit of
And that is why we
reservation for all
passed the
these
women's
years.
reservation.
We
bill
have said,
yesterday.
sir, that we need
I'm saying that in
reservation
science and
because
technology,
the numbers are
we
not
already
enough.
have 20%.
That is why we passed the women's reservation bill yesterday.
That's my point. I'm saying that in science and technology, we already have 20% in this one. The numbers are going up.
कुछ कहना है आपको?
That's my point. That's it. Thank you.
सर
अध्यक्ष महोदय मुझे लग रहा है we need not carry this further because I'm very sure that I trust अध्यक्ष महोदय मुझे लग रहा है शशि जी has never been we need not carry this further because I'm very sure and I trust my friend
जी
Mr. Chairman sir
never been
ओके ठीक है
Mr. Chairman sir
जी
Mr. Chairman sir I must
ओके ठीक है
Mr. Chairman sir
it should be in good humor
I must
always.
express my gratitude to invite me Mr. Chairman sir I must express my gratitude sir to invite me to speak on this important issue sir
चंद्रमा पर इतना हल्ला गुल्ला नहीं होना चाहिए हाँ जी प्लीज चंद्रमा पर इतना हल्ला गुल्ला नहीं होना चाहिए हाँ जी प्लीज चंद्रमा शांति और शीतलता का प्रतीक है। चंद्रमा शांति और शीतलता का प्रतीक है। इतना हंगामा नहीं होना चाहिए। शांति और शीतलता का प्रतीक है। चंद्रमा शांति और शीतलता का प्रतीक है। इतना हंगामा नहीं होना चाहिए।
Now please, Mr. Raja, only you are going on record on. आप बोलिए ना।
Sir, how can I speak, sir?
अरे नहीं, you can speak. आप बोलिए।
House must come to order, sir. Sir,
बैठिए।
how can I
आप
speak,
बैठ
sir?
जाइए
You
प्लीज।
can speak. आप बोलिए।
You are not helping the chair. बैठिए। आप बैठ जाइए प्लीज। You are not helping the chair.
Sir,
आप बैठ जाइए प्लीज। बैठ जाइए।
अरे भाई, प्लीज।
sir. Sir,
अरे भाई।
sir. Sir,
बैठ जाइए।
sir.
Now please, Mr. Raja. Mr. Raja.
बैठ जाइए।
Now please,
बैठिए आप।
Mr.
ये
Raja.
अनावश्यक है। नो 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 प्लीज बैठ जाइए।
आप बोलिए।
बैठिए आप। ये अनावश्यक है। नो 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 प्लीज बैठ जाइए।
आप बोलिए।
राकेश सिंह जी, sir, the chair should give us protection. Sir, what is started because every time, sir, the chair should give us protection. Sir, what is this?
I must express
Sir,
my
every time
gratitude.
they do this, sir.
Please.
for granting me this opportunity. I must express my gratitude on Chandrayaan for granting me this opportunity to say a few words. I decided not to speak because of my health. More specifically, the throat is not cooperating. I decided not to speak because of my health. However, more specifically, having heard the speech which was delivered by the Honorable Defence Minister Rajnath Singh Ji. However, I am confined to having heard the speech which was delivered by the Honorable Defence Minister Rajnath Singh Ji. Sir, the Prime Minister was yesterday very magnanimous. Stand before few minutes that before this no one can claim exclusive credit. Sir, the Prime Minister was yesterday very magnanimous. Common efforts, endeavors, no one can by the team of scientists credit with political and it is a common efforts, in spite of that, put by the team of scientists of DMK, political and the role of the Prime Minister or this government. Sir, in spite of that, cannot be undermined. We want to wish and greet the government. The role of the Prime Minister or this government, sir, bringing this Chandrayaan 3 cannot be undermined. We want to wish and greet once universe and galaxy was treated as a riddle. I will come to later part. Till 1950, universe and galaxy in 1950s treated as a riddle. Various countries, including USA, used to till 1950 satellites in 1950s and other satellites, other various countries, planets, including USA. Thereafter Russia, thereafter satellites, no doubt, the moon and other an exact position India planets has. Thereafter Russia got thereafter China because of Chandrayaan, no doubt, has been an exact and smooth landed. India has got today because of the parity that has been launched and smooth which we claim today along with America and Russia and China. The parity will give a message which we claim today India along with America second and Russia and China in the space research hereafter will give a message. Sir, between 1957 to 58, second to none to anybody. When Soviet Union launched Sputnik 1, Sputnik 2, Sputnik 3. Sir, between 1957 to 58, Alpha. When Soviet Union launched Sputnik 1, shared Sputnik 2, the Parliament, Sputnik 3, that this is and the US launched new Alpha, age of Sputnik. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, sir, I must use the Parliament house that this is a age Tamil is one of the classical language recognized by the world. Sir, I must share and this government. Sir, the Tamil is one of the classical language recognized by the world. And this government measures. Sir, Tamil has have deep rooted since the Honorable Defence Minister says the Sanskrit measures is having such a in the literature. Tremendous since the Honorable Defence Minister says I am not defaming Sanskrit is having such a admittedly this country is having two tremendous culture potential based on Tamil and Sanskrit. I am not defaming any language. C.P. Ramasamy admittedly this country is having educationalist culture who served as based on the Tamil and Sanskrit. Later the Diwan of the C.P. Ramasamy is a known, maybe education, maybe well aware, who served as knowledge and vice chancellor. He admitted Divan of that there are Thiruvangur cultures in the country. Maybe Sasi, maybe by Sanskrit about his knowledge and Aryan culture. And he admitted that there are two cultures in the country. Dravidian culture. One is headed by Sanskrit. I am entitled, having said the defense minister, now I am entitled in the basis to say what Dravidian Tamil language says about science. I am entitled, having said the defense you cannot imagine. Now I am entitled. When I read to say what Dravidian, that is 3,500 years back. Nobody can. Sir, you cannot imagine. When I read this country is that is 3,500 years back. Nobody can believe. Was produced by evaluation of science. This country was not created by a single man. Neelam, this country was produced by evaluation of science. Visumbodu kalanda aindin mayakam ivulagam. Neelam, what does it mean in English? Vali, visumbodu. Sir, there is a metabolical change. Mayakam ivulagam. What does it mean in English? Out of water, land, sir, there is a metabolical change. Space. What we call out of water, land, fire, air, and space. What we call Panchabuddhas. Panchabuddhas. The entire world that has been made because of Panchabuddhas, that has been made, you cannot create Panchabuddhas. New building has come. Does it mean to say Delhi weight has gone? New building has come. No. Does it mean to say for this bench somewhere Delhi weight has gone? No. For this bench, this is the somewhere else a tree science, which was later after 200 years back. It was scientifically put in a proper phrase that the weight of the universe is constant by Newton. Science. 300 years back, English law says by Newton that the weight of the universe is constant. It was scientifically put in a proper phrase back that the weight of the universe is constant. 300 years back, English law says by Newton that the weight of the universe is constant. Are we not entitled to have pride for 3,000 years back? You should be. Sir, Thiruvalluvar. Everybody believed that land, space, every earth is static. Are we not entitled to have other planets are revolving 3,000 years back? It was believed. You should. Even in the Christianity. Sir, Thiruvalluvar. Islam. Everybody believed. But 2,500 years back, he said the earth is static. Other planets are revolving. The earth is revolving. It was believed. Earth is revolving 2,000 years back. Thiruvalluvar says. In spite of that, it is at the beginning of agriculture. 2,500 years back, he said. Sulandrum erpinnadu ulagam ulandrum ulave thala. Sir, Bharati, he said the earth is revolving. Early century. Earth is revolving 2,000 years back. Thiruvalluvar says. In spite of that, it is at the beginning of agriculture. At the beginning of flowing. Vanayalapom. What does it mean? We will measure the space. Sir, Bharati, who is a scholar in Sanskrit. Early century. He said in Tamil, Vanayalapom. We will measure space. Kadal Meenayalapom. Sandhira Mandalathu measure the sea and fishes. Vanayalapom. What does it mean? We will measure the space. Then the Chandra Mandalathu, who is a scholar in study and research. He said in Tamil, Vanayalapom. We will measure the space. Kadal Meenayalapom. We will measure the sea and find fishes. Tamil literature. Then, as far as science. Ocean. You cannot say one incident that the language Tamil is. We will study and research against the moons, which will be benefit to the mankind. Sir, Bharati is being a Tamil and Sanskrit scholar. In spite of that, you cannot find when the science comes. When the science comes. You cannot say one incident that the language Tamil is mythological traveling as against it is not stick on the mythological value. Sir, Bharati is being a Tamil and today I am very proud. As in spite of that, when the science comes, school of thought, when the science was designed by Periyar, he did not shut down, and it was articulated by Dr. Annadurai mythological value. And it was, sir, I am very proud as a student of power after Kalaignar, Dravidian school of thought, leader Dr. Kalaignar, which was designed by Periyar EVR, along with them articulated today by Dr. Annadurai, the number one chief minister of Tamil Nadu, and it was Honorable M.K. Muthuvel Karunanidhi came to power after Kalaignar. We welcome the measures that has been taken by the government to put the Chandrayaan along with the correct orbit. By putting the Chandrayaan in the correct orbit, the mythological illusion that has been removed, that is a success in the Dravidian school. We welcome the measures. Sir, by this time, I must to put the Chandrayaan in the correct orbit. All scientists, those who involved in the scientific team, by putting the Chandrayaan in the more specifically, the contribution of mythological illusion in Chandrayaan 1 removed, that is a success in the Dravidian school. In Chandrayaan 2, concept. Shivam. Sir, by this time, Chandrayaan 3, I must extend my congratulations to the all scientists. Those sir, these people are very proud. These people are scientific not even team. Went to private schools in the space. Private colleges. More specifically, the contribution of they belong to OBC. In Chandrayaan 1, very ordinary. They came from very ordinary. In Chandrayaan 2, and studied in government school. In Chandrayaan 3, in spite of that, they contributed that India has reached the moon. Sir, these people are very proud. Not these people are not even went to private schools. Any other private colleges institution abroad by the government. They belong to OBC. Sir, they did not know Hindi and Sanskrit. Very ordinary. They came from very ordinary, gullible did not know Sanskrit and studied in the government school. They know only Tamil and English. In spite of that, they exalted such a that India has reached the moon. Sir, because I am looking back the history of space research since 1952. Any other as put it my friend Satiate government colleges and government schools. Sir, rightly he said, when Indian National Committee for Space Research, they did not know Hindi and Sanskrit. INCSR was set up by Jawaharlal Nehru. Did not know Sanskrit under the chairmanship of Vikram Sarabhai. They know only Tamil and English. And later of that, they exalted such a position, renamed as ISRO. Sir, I am looking back the history of space research since 1960. Such a remarkable phenomenon as put it my friend, and the nation got pride. Sir, rightly he said, Indian National Committee for Space Research, other mode of thoughts, INCSR, was set up by the Pandila and Jawaharlal Nehru. Defense Minister under the chairmanship of Vikram Sarabhai. I recall, and later it was developed to renamed as in the Parliament. Just 1 hour. Sir, I am disturbed. In 2004, such a remarkable phenomenon in my 30s, and the nation got pride. Health. We must Council of Ministers headed by Vajpayee. Introspect. Other mode of thoughts and views, protecting the Raj Dharma in politics. Sir, I heard the defense minister very passionately. A debate was brought by the honorable member from Andhra, Jaipal Reddy, a veteran leader in Congress. The motion is drop the 3 cabinet ministers from the cabinet. One of the person he named is Murali Manohar Joshi, then the HRD in Parliament. Just 1 hour back. In 2004, the motion was moved by Jaipal Reddy. In my 30s, I was rapt attention in the Council of Ministers headed by Atal Bihari Vajpayee was there. He is known for then the protecting the Raj Dharma in politics. I quote, I have always regarded Dr. Murali Manohar Joshi as a genius scholar, but my philosophical problem with him is that a debate was confused himself by the honorable member from Andhra. Philosophy with the theology. A veteran leader in Congress. And we further went, the motion is, Mr. Joshi dropped the 3 cabinet ministers from the and you want to give a saffron syllabus for the students. I am entitled to call, he said, I am entitled to call you in the house. One of the person he named is Murali Manohar Joshi, then the HRD minister. Unquote. Sir, I was part of the government, in BJP government, no doubt. Sir, the reason is something different. This is not the place to elucidate. Nothing was different. But sir, the house was wrapped attention. The accusation that has been made, the accusation that was made by the Murali Manohar Joshi still continues in the mouth of Vajpayee was there. Then the Arun Jaitley. Sir, no doubt, government has done a great job. I have always when satellites were successfully sent by the America and Russia, Prime Minister Nehru wrote to all chief ministers, please, as a genius scholar, but my philosophical problem with him is that not able to send. He is confused himself. Prime Minister wrote letter to all the chief ministers. I quote, intrusion of the man into outer space with the theology and unquote. Letter further says, it is very important. Our narrow value. And we further went. We are entangled with all kinds of rivalries in the name of caste, greed and religion and national conflicts which have no meaning in this new age of. And you want to give a saffron syllabus for the students. Unquote. I am entitled to call. He said, I am entitled to call you in the house. That you are a textbook terrorist. Naturally, your mind and heart must enlarge. Sir, whereas I feel with all my sincerity, I was part of the government. Then one side you are sending the Chandrayaan to the space, and your heart and brain going down somewhere else. The reason is something which contradicts. This is not the place to elucidate. Nothing is different. But sir, Sedu Samudram project, sir, which was a dream for us. It was completely stopped because of mythology, not by science. The accusation that has been made, sir, the accusation among the Chandrayaan celebration by the Murali Manohar Joshi, sir, it is very painful. Still continues. Sir, nothing of Defense Minister Rajnath Singh.
क्या point of order है?
Sir, no doubt, government has done a great job. I will finish 1 minute.
Some point of order is there. Mr. Raja, some point of order is there. It should be listened. आप बैठ जाइए मैम. आप बैठे.
आर्टिकल 25
जी जी.
भारत का संविधान 25 सर वो कहता है कि कोई भी आदमी किसी भी धर्म को मानने के लिए स्वतंत्र है और किसी आदमी को यह आजादी नहीं है कि वो उसके धर्म के आस्था के ऊपर जो अटैक करे। ये भारत का संविधान कहता है। ये बार बार जो है हमारे ऊपर अटैक कर रहे हैं। हम सनातन को मानते हैं, हम हिंदू हैं और आपको कोई राइट नहीं है हमारे ऊपर अटैक करने के लिए।
We are entangled with all kinds of rivalries.
देख लेंगे इसको, देख लेंगे
in the name of
जी। बैठिए मिस्टर राजा प्लीज, मिस्टर राजा now please continue. Continue and be careful. Sometimes mythology and history they are mixed. They can't be separated. Mr. Raja, altogether. Mr. Raja, you please take care of those. Please. Okay. No. Please बैठ जाइए आप मिस्टर राजा, only मिस्टर राजा. Yes, please. Okay, his point is taken here. आप चलिए बोलिए, please. Point is taken here. आप चलिए बोलिए, please. Continue, please.
Sir. Okay.
ठीक है बैठिए, बोलिए
सर।
जी बोलिए
सर।
ठीक है बैठिए। We should be careful. We should be careful.
सर।
जी I am repeating the बोलिए
सर।
Sometimes mythology
Sir,
they are mixed.
Yes, sir. Sir, I am not doing
careful.
anything. Sir,
We should
I am
be
not-
careful. In
Sir,
our
sir,
nation,
sir.
I am repeating the
We are celebrating, no doubt. We are entitled.
Sometimes mythology.
Sir, no, that
they
where
are
India is
mixed.
going. Yes, sir.
We-
Sir, I am not doing
we-
anything.
we-
Sir, I am not.
In our nation, in our country. No.
China. No,
It is a tradition.
I am also Indian. I am having my own pride towards the country, towards the Prime Minister, towards the ministers. But, sir, but, sir, my own pride. Sir, my heart is, sir, my heart is bleeding. Ministers. Sir, my heart is bleeding. But, sir, my one side Prime Minister was jubilant for Chandrayaan 3. Heart is, other side, Prime Minister my heart is bleeding. Very proud to launch. Sir, my heart is bleeding. One side, Prime Minister was jubilant for Chandrayaan 3. At the age of 18, boys. Other side, Prime Minister was very proud to enslave a barber as a barber ever. To enslave a shoemaker as a shoemaker ever. To enslave a goldsmith as a goldsmith ever.
No.
To enslave a carpenter as a carpenter ever.
No. Please. आप बैठिए ना, आप बैठिए। बालू साहब, please come to the Chandrayaan only. Vishwakarma Yojana here is not to be discussed now. Please.
You repel it.
No.
You repel it.
There could be different interpretation also. Mr. Raja.
Enslave a shoemaker as a
There could be
shoemaker
different
ever.
interpretation also. Please
Sir.
don't go into those details. Please.
This is a minute problem for our. Sir.
No.
Sir, enslave when I am seeing as a goldsmith ever. Sir, the advertisement came. The advertisement came in the newspaper. You see the photograph. Enslave a carpenter as a carpenter ever.
No. Please.
And another man is
आप बैठिए ना, आप बैठिए। बालू साहब, please come to the Chandrayaan only. No. Mr. Raja, please.
Sir.
No. It doesn't mean like that. No, please.
Sir.
It doesn't mean like that.
Sir.
Here is not to be discussed now.
Sir,
Please.
ask him repel it.
Okay.
Sir,
No.
you repel it.
There
Sir,
could be
sir.
different
Sir, you
interpretation
repel
also.
it. Sir.
Mr. Raja.
Sir.
No, there could be different
Sir,
interpretation also.
Sir.
Please don't go into
Ask him.
No. मेरा एक आपसे
Sir,
निवेदन है।
I will complete after that. You can.
जी।
This is a minute problem. Sir, the Nehru's political and scientific temper was assessed by one.
No.
David Michael. Sir, when I am seeing, he said, I quote, the arrival of humanity and the advertisement came. The advertisement came in the newspaper as an opportunity to emancipate humanity in India from all cycles. And another man is Goldsmith moving the gold. How we are viewing this Chandrayaan? Scientific.
No. Mr. Raja, please.
Other side? Sir.
No. It doesn't mean like that. No, please. It doesn't mean like that. To help some barber. To help some. No. Okay.
Sir, finally. Sir, I plead. Sir, government. Don't give any unscientific color to Chandrayaan.
ये एक सेकंड
America did not.
मेरा एक आपसे
Sir, I will complete after that. Sir, did not do that. Sir, China did not do that. Nehru's political and scientific temper was assessed by one.
No, I'm finishing.
David Michael.
Sir, please put the name of
He said, I quote,
Vikram Sarabhai.
the arrival of humanity on the moon
Thank you.
was interpreted by Nehru as an opportunity to emancipate humanity in India from all cycles. Unquote.
Sir.
So, how we are viewing this Chandrayaan? It is not a mere scientific glory. Other side, we should give equal sociological effect to the common people to maintain equality and give all
On the
science to everybody. Sir, finally. Sir, I plead government.
Sir,
Don't do any unscientific.
I rise to speak on the success
America did not
of the
do
Chandrayaan.
that. USSR did not do that.
I congratulate
China did not do that.
S.
Please
Somnath
put the name of. Please.
along
No, I'm
the
finishing.
scientists
Sir, please put the
of
name of
ISRO.
Vikram Sarabhai.
देखिए
For Chandrayaan.
एक सेकंड
Thank you.
जब आपका बोलने का सुनिए
स्वागत राय जी।
आपकी कोई चीज रिकॉर्ड में नहीं जा रही है प्लीज लिसन आपकी कोई चीज रिकॉर्ड में नहीं जा रही है आपको अवसर मिलेगा बोलने का माननीय शांत बैठिए विदुड़ी जी नो बैठ जाइए आप आपको जब अवसर मिलेगा अपनी बात कहिएगा अपना तर्क रखिएगा अभी जो बात कही जा रही है उसको सुनिए आप प्लीज
Sir, I rise to speak on the success of ISRO, of the Chandrayaan. I congratulate S. Somnath. I, along the scientists to mention that there of ISRO, Bengali scientists.
देखिए एक सेकंड जब आपका बोलने का सुनिए आपकी कोई चीज रिकॉर्ड में नहीं जा रही है प्लीज लिसन आपकी कोई चीज रिकॉर्ड में नहीं जा रही है आपको अवसर मिलेगा बोलने का माननीय शांत बैठिए विदुड़ी जी बैठ जाइए आप आपको जब अवसर मिलेगा अपनी बात कहिएगा अपना तर्क रखिएगा अभी जो बात कही जा रही है उसको सुनिए
आप बैठिए He doesn't need your support. Please, Sabanda. Every scientist from any region, any part of India, he was Indian scientist. Ji, please.
When we have seen
Okay.
Chandrayaan soft landing on the moon, in front of the TV, want to mention Chandrayaan that then suddenly the Prime Minister, Bengali scientists. The whole country wanted to see the soft landing. Chandrayaan project. They saw the Prime Minister. Hey, तुम बैठो तो, फालतू आदमी बैठो, बैठो तो, ताला बोल नहीं, भाषण दो ना.
No, please.
अगर सकते हो तो भाषण दो.
They are scientists from Bengal, from Tamil Nadu, from Kerala, from other states, but they all are Indian scientists. Please.
Done by
You know the delicacy of the things. Now please, आप बैठिए. He doesn't need your support. Please, Sabanda. Every scientist from any region, any part of India, he was Indian scientist. Ji, please.
When we are seeing the man, Chandrayaan, who spoke of scientific temperament landing on the moon, country was Jawaharlal in front of the TV. We saw Chandrayaan, then suddenly the Prime Minister. You do not accept anything without accept. The whole country wanted to without see the soft landing. Science is knowledge which is certain and systematic. Why I am Chandrayaan is the not the former professor of physics of one particular but in my physics. While is the result of Chandrayaan, I don't bring 50 years Ram Mandir of like scientific work done by hundreds of scientists in the two throughout the country. Sir, speak on.
You got on the.
I want to say I am not the man. Sir, I want to say, spoke of scientific when somebody in top position says that Ganesh had plastic surgery in the ancient days, I do not accept. You do not accept anything. When somebody says that Kauravas were born due to in vitro fertilization, I do not accept this. When somebody says